3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everybody, to the Community Services Committee. On this committee are myself, Councillors Bressie, Councillors Blackburn, and Mayor Clayton. We'll get started today. We have a delegation from the Nighthawk Year-End Adventure Park. Let's look for, there he is, Mr. Jonathan Clarkson. If you want to unmute yourself, introduce yourself, and we'll give you about 5 minutes, and I'm sure we're going to have a few questions for you.
You bet. Thank you, Chair Palat, and thank you, Council, for the opportunity to come and speak before you today, and I hope you guys all had a great winter. So I guess I just want to thank you again for the funding that we've received this past year, both capital and operating. It was put to good use, and as we've said, or I've said in previous presentations, we did defer some of that capital funding into operating, obviously, after a meeting with Council in 2020 as we worked through the COVID-19 pandemic. But I'll just focus on the things that we've been able to do with the capital funding that we had remaining, and how we move forward with our operations for the winter season, and how that was a success. So some of the things that we did touch on this past year with the capital funding that we received from our 3 municipal partners related to lift upgrades, our 3 remaining lifts, total erosion control, lighting, and then some repairs and maintenance that also included snowmaking upgrades. So one of the biggest things that we did in our snowmaking system this past 2 years, actually, is we've upgraded our snowmaking guns to require 50 to 75% less compressed air than what was previously needed, which obviously means operating costs for our air compressors that we need to run the snowmaking system and the like goes down, but we also are able to increase production in warmer temperatures with those new nozzles and new guns that we've been able to purchase. So we've now got 30 top-of-the-line snowmaking guns that this year saw us complete our snowmaking, albeit quite a reduced operational area, complete snowmaking within 9 days. We also, with that new technology, also made snow with the City of Grande Prairie at Borstad Hill, which was a great partnership and great collaboration, albeit that Mother Nature threw us a snowstorm, I think the evening of our first night of snowmaking, but it was still a great collaboration, and we were happy to do it. So obviously with our capital funding and operating funding, we really hit on that strategic priority for Council being community, and in providing the recreational services that we do. Some of our successes this past year were obviously adaptation, and I think all community groups have really done, or most community groups have done a great job at that. So we've moved a lot of our things to online, right from our training and staff orientation. We've done online Zoom training, which is, everybody is moving to, but we've redone our policies and procedure manuals for all of that. We've also moved on and created e-commerce platforms for both Bear Paw and also for Nighthawk and the Tube Zone, which were very successful this past winter season, and obviously pushing people to online. I think we'll see a benefit going forward in things like our online processing fees and our POS fees from an operating standpoint were significantly reduced because we were passing it on to the customer through our online web portals and the like. We've also adapted our RV park operations, both at Bear Paw and at Nighthawk over the past year, to obviously operate safely within COVID-19 and that. We've also moved all of our group lesson programs to online booking, which again was something that we hadn't approached previous to this, but it's been successful, and we've actually seen a big uptake in a reduction of phone calls coming in and more bookings going online, which has been a great thing. A new thing that we introduced this past year was glow tubing in the Aquaterra Tube Zone. I'm not sure if any of Council or any of the people that you know in the community got out to enjoy that, but that was a huge hit. Typically, when we would launch our online sales, glow tubing would sell out within 5 to 6 hours from the time it was launched, so that was a great thing. And just to put it into perspective, our Tube Zone revenue was up 330% from last year. So a huge increase there. Our overall ski revenue was roughly down about 35 to 40%. Again, because of COVID, but also because of operational constraints, because of reduced terrain and not wanting to cause huge lineups at the bottom of our lists. that we did still have operational. So certainly that did present its challenges. We've also, this past year, obviously with the landslide, we expanded the skiable terrain that we did have. We created a cut across run from the top of Show-Off back over to Willowway, which was really well received and allowed not only the public, but also our user groups, the Nighthawk Alpine Ski Team, the Nighthawk Freestyle Team, and also Nighthawk Snowboard Club to, again, be able to spread out on the hill. And in reference to them, we actually came up with a user agreement this past year so that we weren't taking away skiable time from our public members, or I guess spots available for skiing from the public. We actually opened up on Tuesday and Thursday evenings for 2.5 hours, covering our operational costs through the passes that we were selling to those club members to make sure that they still got their training in this year and were able to train safely, but also then offer that same amount of spots available to the public when we were able to open them. Some of the other things that we did as well this year, obviously taking advantage of all federal and provincial subsidy programs that we had access to, which included the CEWS, the relaunch grants through the province, the CEBA loan through the federal government as well, and the like. So certainly doing what we had to do to stay open and to still provide service. Obviously, being that we were one of the only real facilities that was able to operate during the winter periods and offer recreational opportunities for the community. So we were really happy to be able to do that. And albeit it was in a reduced capacity, and I think that was probably the hardest thing for me, was hearing and getting the phone calls from moms saying, my kids aren't going to be able to come out there 5 days a week like they used to. What are they going to do now? But we did our best in opening up as many spots as possible for that. Some of the other things that we did that were successful this past year, again, developing and implementing COVID-19 protocols, both for the public and our staff. Again, I think at the end of our season, our staff, including all of our management team, were tired and certainly ready for it to be done, just in the sense that we did get some pushback this year, and obviously on COVID-19 protocols, and that adds stress to the day-to-day operations for our staff. So we certainly we're happy to do it, but it was certainly a challenge in itself. Some of the other challenges, obviously, as we've said before, so COVID-19 and then also the landslide with reduced skiable terrain certainly presented its own challenges this year. So going into this next year and into the summer months, we're getting ramped up and have put in our golf order for Bear Paw to get that all up and running, and we hope to do that maybe even a week earlier than what we projected at May 1st. And we're in conversations with people like Councillor Bressie as well on developing maybe a junior disc golf program at Bear Paw and the like. So certainly looking for other opportunities. And as we move into the summer months as well, we're hoping that our summer bike programs, which we ran also in conjunction with the City of Grande Prairie at the South Bear Creek Bike Skills Park, that we're able to do that again because that was a huge success. We had 8 weeks of camps, 6 of which sold out, 2 of which had a few spots left, but no, it was great. So outside of keeping you guys too much longer, because I know it is lunch, I will just turn it back over to Chair Palat, and if there's any questions that I can answer, I will certainly do so.
All right, thanks for that, Jonathan. Great overview, a lot of updates, a lot of information there, but appreciate that. Any questions for Mr. Clarkson, sir? Mayor Clayton.
Thanks, Chair Plott. Just a really in the weeds operational question. I was curious about, understanding that your inability to operate your bike park this summer. I was curious about the carpet that you use for moving people up the hill on the tube park. Is that something that could be utilized for people to be able to access the hill in biking this summer?
Yeah, most definitely. And actually, that's something that we've already been discussing, is the utilization of the carpets. The 600-foot conveyor, for those that aren't familiar, services the tube zone as well as the terrain park area at our facility. And so, yeah, that's certainly something that we are looking at. as an option. And like, we're also investigating some different shuttle options. In the past, we've used truck and trailer. Unfortunately, after talking with our insurance company, that is not an option from here forward. So we will, if we want to access more of the hill, we will have to go to a bus or a van system to do that. But certainly the 600-foot conveyor is an option.
Yeah, I think that's a great option as a parent who gets bugged all the time to drive the bikes up the hill so my kids can bike down the hill. I think it would be great if there was that opportunity. So thanks for considering that.
Definitely.
Okay, I think I had Councillor O'Toole had a question next.
Well, I also am in favor of having another option of getting up the hill. I've got a grandson that's out there quite often and burning up the hill, and he's doing good. I just wanted to thank you very much with all the work that you've accomplished this year. Can you imagine if you had two legs that were working really good rather than just the one? And just a little pun there. I thought I'd better bring it up, but thanks very much for making this place a success. And we just got, I got my COVID shot the other day, so maybe everybody else will get their shot, and maybe things will be a little bit different here in 4 to 6 months for sure. So good luck. Hope you have a great summer, and we'll see you at the golf course.
Thanks so much, Kevin, and thanks for the support. And the leg's healing up good. I got 2.5 weeks left in the cast, and then I start physio.
Nice.
Perfect.
All right, thanks for that, Councillor. Any other questions or comments for Delegate today? Seeing none, thanks again for coming in, Jonathan. Great, always great to hear an update, and heard a lot of success stories out of our ski hill this last year, and I know you played a vital role in a lot of mental health for a lot of families, and it was great to see them get out there and take advantage of the facility still. So thank you for that and your team. Appreciate you being here today.
Most definitely, and thank you guys again for your continued support and everything. And I hope to have more updates for you in the coming months here as we work through some things with our board and the landslide. So thank you.
Sounds great. Thanks for that. And so next we'll move on to our reports. If I could just ask Director Miller if he'd give us his update, please.
All right. Thanks, Chair Palat. So I'll be fairly quick. So with the Community Knowledge Campus, with the recent changes again by the provincial government on the restrictions back to step one, we made some modifications to the permitted activities at CKC, and that involves some cancellations and refunds for clients as well. And then we adjusted our staffing level accordingly. And then just some work we're doing at the Coke Center. The dressing rooms are in the process of being updated with fresh paint, and also doing some work on the benches. And the grandstands, we gave it a pre-season cleaning this week, and the turf is ready for operations. And then events and entertainment, the rapid flow immunization site is opened as of April 5th, and it's built to have a capacity of 150 clients per hour. And reportedly, it's going well. We've had a couple of people actually phone the city and give us kudos on how well it's been operating. So that was very good to see. And then the public library is closed again to in-person services, but is still doing the curbside pickup and online programming. And then with facilities, just some work that they have undergoing right now. They're working on the concession and design at Grande Prairie. And then the fieldhouse curtain is being replaced at Eastlink. And then with the RCMP, they're doing some scheduling and coordination of multiple flooring projects. And then Centre 2000, they're doing exterior improvements, which is some of the siding and some of the railings as well. And then sports development, wellness and culture. The annual Easter Extravaganza took place on Saturday, April 3rd. And we had over 350 children in the Easter egg hunt throughout Heritage Village. The average age was about 4 years old, and we received excellent feedback from the parents, including lots of comments on social media. And in regards to the social distance Easter Bunny photo op as well. And then 19 park use permits have been received to date, and we anticipate a very busy season with outdoor activity across the city. And that's pretty much it. Nothing to report for fleet and transit today. Okay. Thanks, Chair Platt.
Thanks, Director Miller. I'm just wondering if you also had any updates on the activity reception center.
thanks, Chair Platt. So I believe it was on Friday, they were on site and they staked out where the building will be. And so work is starting up now. They had to wait for the snow to melt and the ground to thaw. I know they have in the screw piles very soon. And we found out recently that the building materials will actually be arriving about a week early. So I think it's around the third week in May that the building materials will arrive. So all is well with the activity center.
I only plug that out there because I do want to, we're probably hearing people in the community concerned about that. So I just wanted to nudge because I had asked Director Miller last week and it sounds like everything is going well. So just wanted the community to be aware of that. Questions for Director Miller? I see Councillor O'Toole.
Yeah, I just wanted to announce that they put the fence up around there yesterday, the perimeter fencing. Ask me how I know that. I drove around there just about every day, so I'm looking forward to that. So,
if I can just add, Chair Platt, at the end of the month, about 2 weeks from today, Stephanie Casually will be doing a more detailed update to committee on the activity center.
Thank you.
And I just also have a comment. When I got my inoculation, I went to Teresa Sargent Hall, and it was done excellent. There's no arguments, no anything. It was, you go in, you go out, and you're there. That took me a little more than 40 minutes to go in and come out. And that's with 15 minutes of sticking around till after the actual shot. So it's a good thing. I'm really proud, and I'm really happy that it's going through that way. It wasn't overbooked, but as people were leaving, there was people coming in. So they were really taking notice to their timeline of when they were getting their shot. And so that's all I got to say. Just kudos everywhere.
I can, thanks, Chair Platt. Just a little bit more information. Starting tomorrow, it is ramping up for about a week. And so we're anticipating it'll be at the capacity of 120 per hour. So we have our staff are all set up for that. AHS is ready for it as well. So we're hoping it'll go really well, but we'll keep a close eye on it as well.
Thanks, Director Miller. Any other questions for Director Miller? I just have one, I guess, and it's more regarding the closure of their gyms and the things that have happened with the last announcements here. Just on some parks calls I've been on recently, it seemed like there was a pretty good sentiment around the province that there was a push to not want to be closing any of these facilities. And can you speak to that, to Director Miller? I know it's impacting that's out of our jurisdiction, but is there any efforts being going on behind the scene that we were not aware of through the parks that are saying we need to reopen these facilities? Parks and Rec, I guess, more specifically.
Thanks, Chair Platt. There's nothing going on that I'm aware of. We actually do have both Stephanie and Catherine are still on the line. They do participate in other calls that I don't. So if they have any information, perhaps they could offer something up. But,
no, fair enough. I was asking because it was some of the breakout sessions. It was very common conversation saying, hey, if this happens, another lockdown comes, we have to push back against it because they're just the data that they're seeing just isn't supporting it from Parks and Rec. I'm not saying the overall problem, but so I just was wondering if there's any conversation. If there's not, that's fine. This was one FYI out there. Any other questions? If not, we'll just maybe ask you to update your outstanding items list, please.
All right, thank you. So just 2 items remaining, and the regional handy bus feasibility, I indicated last time that we were waiting for Wembley to decide if they were going to apply for that new grant opportunity, and we haven't heard back from Wembley to date. So if we can extend that one to June 8th, and then we'll bring back Wembley's decision or perhaps additional details at that time. And then on item 1128, that is a $200,000 business case for the event center. And we paused that one pending the discussion about the surplus and the financial update from Ms. Whiteway. And if there was any motion coming to try to move it forward to 2021. So if we could, right now it's still set for June 8th. We'll leave it there and see if any from council brings additional information forward. Okay. Thank you.
Hey, thanks for that. Any questions on the outside of the item list? Or anybody have any conversation about the event center change? Are we good with leaving the date? Okay, seeing nobody, I guess just look for a motion to accept the outside items list, please. Councillor Bressie?
Yeah, so move to accept.
Thank you for that, and we'll just hop over to our e-scribes and we get the vote here. Sorry, I'm having some challenging issues, so I'll vote in favor of it. Not having much luck here.
Thank you, Chair Palat.
All right, and that looks like that's carried. And with that, finishes our committee business. I believe we have another meeting coming up, so we'll have to hop on another call. Do we want to get time on that, Mayor Clayton, or are we hopping on that right away?
I think
You're on you. Sorry.
I think Blake, are we going to go?
Sorry, Chair Plot. I'll just double check that everyone that needs to be on that in-camera call is on the line right now. But let's just give everybody 2 minutes. We have to hop on another line anyway.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.